Christians have always been fodder for comedians who have tended to portray them as anoraks, slightly clammy, beatifically smiley dullards with barely a personality between them. Yeah, that has indeed been a go-to place for some comics to get a cheap laugh or two, but it's a dangerous caricature, which I don't think is uniquely British. Some of the world's most dangerous people profess to be followers of Christ, of course. Anyway, another Joe quote. I tend to think the world is a bit of a miserable place, so anyone who can add to people's optimistic, cheerful side is doing a good job, which is what I hope I'm doing. I do like a lot of Jo Brand's stand-up. She's quick-witted, she's dark sometimes, and blunt, which I appreciate. Good comedy is transgressive, pushing people's buttons in a good way. Some of the most insightful or profound stuff comes from decent stand-up comedy. Joe again. People say you should read your criticism because it will make you a better person, but it doesn't. It just makes you a sad, bitter old showbiz nightmare. I think there's a danger that we're moving towards a state where the people we are expected to admire are almost not human anymore, and I don't like that. I prefer it when someone looks like a nice person and you think, I could have a laugh with them in the pub. My preference is swimming in the sea. I find the sea is more liberating, wild and good fun, rather than plodding up and down a pool. Yeah, I hear you, but the sea is also full of jellyfish and human fecal matter, among other unpleasant elements, so there is that. Joe says, I must be an anorexic because an anorexic looks in the mirror and sees a fat person. Well, when I look at you, Jo Brand, I see an awesome person, a good egg. One more quote. They say revenge is a dish best eaten cold, but for most people, by the time it's ready to eat, they just don't fancy it anymore.